made for this using a old mask.
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm a bandwagon Los Angeles fan.
I'm Union Jack.
And I have get my retribution as Slapjack.
I just want to point out, Manny, I don't know what is privy to the pre-production meetings, but Marcus' mask that he made himself was by far better off in the pre-show than it is right now. I don't know which way his mask is going. The nose is not lined up with the mask. Marcus, I know you're going for Slapjack, but you kind of look like a mummy that has his bandages wrapped all the wrong way, and you're waking up like that. It's
a mummy waking up on the wrong side of the bed?
Yeah, pretty much. Just take it off, Marcus. Take it off.
Huh? No. I am committed to this.
Okay.
I will die at Slapjack first.
Well, I hope you don't die that way. Union Jack, how are things going for you today?
Doing great. I'm a rejected member of the Retribution. They wouldn't accept Union Jack. So I'm here on the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
we appreciate you that we will take all of Retribution's leftovers. And Slapjack with the paper plate, how are things going for you?
Oh, I'm doing great. And you know how you say you were a bandwagon Laker fan?
No,
well, if
bandwagon Los Angeles fan, Marcus. Bandwagon Los Angeles fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. I forgot there's a difference. They're all the same. Oh, as he is Union Jack, and I am the Slapjack. You, Eric, are Nia Jack. How you like that?
That doesn't even work, man.
It does.
It does not.
Union.
It does.
Slapjack.
Come on, Nia.
You know what? Don't make me drive up to where you're at to put you through a table, because I will do it, Lana.
You wouldn't drive 6 hours to put me through a table.
Oh, yes, I would. I'm that petty. I am that petty. But with that being said,
that makes you Nia then.
Let's do it first. Something that we've never done on the audio version of this show. You know, it's a Halloween spirit. I'm in a Halloween somewhat spirit, as you guys can see with the festive decorations I did for the live stream. I know it's amateur, but damn it, Marcus asked me to do something Halloweenish, and I did something. But
what'd you put up there?
You don't want to know.
I can't see it.
You don't want to know. With that being said, something that everyone should check out, and I got a text in the wee morning hours saying that, hey, you need to look at NXT UK to watch one of the better matches of this week, if not the best match. It was Volta against Dijakovic. I can't say his name.
Oh my God!
Manny.
Did you not watch the match? So he's gonna enter the pronunciation.
No. I'm gonna let him have this one.
I know it's Walter, and it is the Russian torpedo.
Ilya Dragunov.
There we go, Dragunov, the dragon.
I don't know how you got Dijakovic. There's no J's in his name.
You know, all those names look the same.
I guess it's either and then Dragunov. Yeah, there might be. Okay, maybe there are. But I'm just saying. You can't just listen to the commentary, and they would have pronounced it right.
Let me point out, I have said Dijakovic more times on this show than I've ever said Dragunov on this show. So you have to understand. Dragunov.
You can say beef stroganoff. You can say beef stroganoff, but you can't say Dragunov.
You know, I ain't had no beef stroganoff in a long time either. You know, I'm about to go pick me up some hamburger helper, you know.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Well, just because this is NXT UK and we never go there, we know I'm going to talk to someone that his home territory. Manny, what was your impressions of this match between the champion and the challenger?
Oh man, this match was brutal. Like, if you fought Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly at NXT TakeOver 31 was brutal. This, if you just turned away, you could probably figure out who was slapping who. They beat the shit out of each other. Walter was stopping him. They slapped each other so many times. This match was incredible. But it wasn't even I wouldn't even call this a match. It was just a full-on fight.
Yeah, it was just a fight. And somebody slapping the shit out of somebody every 2 seconds. And they look like they got their ass beat. Like at the end of the match where Dragunov is sitting there with his mouth bloodied and his chest beams and shreds, and Walter's choking him with all his fat and everything else. It was like, man, he killed that man. He killed that man, and no one can stop Walter. And the point is about this match that just had me over invested was that, you know, on Monday I fell asleep. Huh?
Over
You fell asleep on this match.
Wow.
No. If you guys let me finish, on Monday I was watching, you know, I fell asleep on Matt Riddle and Sheamus, and I had to go back and watch that.
So wait. I have to interrupt you again because right now you just mentioned Riddle and Sheamus with this match, and I don't feel like.
But why don't you wait till I finish my point?
Okay.
Wait till I finish my point. Okay.
I'll allow you to put everything on the plate for us, Marcus. Put everything on the plate.
I went back and watched Riddle and Sheamus where people say, oh, that's a very hard-hitting match and stuff. That ain't shit compared to what they were doing here. They were killing each other for no reason. I mean, the UK title was on the line, but it was for no reason. This was a non-takeover show. They went for like 30 minutes just slapping the shit out of each other over and over. And I don't feel like Walter ever felt anything. And Walter's the monster who he's supposed to be. And there's nobody in that company that can beat him. There's no one that can beat Walter.
You know,
the only person I would presume could beat Walter would be Brock Lesnar. Like, in a legit fight. Because that's all the things I get out of a Walter match. It's like, this is a legit fight.
But what I enjoyed about this match, though, we could clearly see that the competitor, the challenger, because I can't get his name right.
Just say Dragunov. Just say Dragunov.
Dragunov was clearly, he was undersized, but he fought bigger than what he was. And I would say this was one of the more enjoyable matches I've seen in a while. Like, I really enjoyed this match, and it was very interesting because normally when I see, I guess, UK wrestling is usually a lot more technical, but this match to me was very Japanese style. It was very like strong style. They was beating the hell out of each other, and I enjoyed every second of it because I actually thought when I watched it this early in the morning I was gonna fall asleep on it, but no, I stayed wide awake. And thank you, WWE Network, for letting me go straight to the match instead of having to fast forward through items. I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoy Walter in this situation. I think that the UK has something very special because I think that unlike NXT, Smackdown, and Raw, I think NXT UK really separates itself from all the other WWE brands because it feels completely different. And I even start with the set design. I don't know why I really enjoyed the set that they have at NXT UK with the big screen that shows the graphic for the match, and then they have a little bit of the Thunderdome screens at the top. So,
well, you know what this is, and Marcus pointed this out in our post-show meeting. Was this is basically what NXT was before it became the TV show?
Yeah.
On USA.
And the thing is, would you say that it becoming on USA, did it take away the heart and soul of NXT, Manny? Or do you think they just had to evolve to become a more presentation-friendly show?
Well, I feel like they're trying to compete with something they can't beat at the moment, even though they won in the ratings this week. But
I told you, I've been calling it.
But like, they're in competition mode. But like, I think they're realizing now that they shouldn't have to really worry about focusing on what they're doing on AEW, but worry about what they're doing, and then you get a better product. Because like week after week, when you look at it, yeah, there's going to be AEW fans that enjoy what AEW is putting out, but like when you look at it as a whole, as like being unbiased, I've enjoyed NXT way more than I have AEW, and that's because they're doing storytelling all over the place.
And you know, in an aspect, I can agree with that. And Manny, I feel like I'm going to touch on AEW and NXT toward the tail end of the show because I felt that they were the strongest shows of the week this week because I thought, although Raw and SmackDown were okay, I wanted a better, man, now everybody's going to call me Eric Jacks. This is going to be really bad. I felt that the follow-up from Hell in a Cell was just okay because I really enjoyed the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I thought the match that started the night off between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, first of all, who saw that coming as being the starting match? But the story that they told, I don't think they could. I thought there would be no match that could compete with the first opening match, but then I was wrong because I then enjoyed Bayley and Sasha. Marcus, I turn to you. Did Hell in a Cell deliver a satisfying pay-per-view for you?
I mean, considering that it was basically a 2-match show, 2.5-match show, yeah, it delivered. Because Roman and Jay went like an hour of them just doing dialogue and Shakespearean about who's doing this, and then ending with the Wild Samoans on top, anointing Roman as the head of the table. And, the Usos looking all like, this can't be real, man. This is some evil ass shit. And, Roman's matches are now must see. Like, when we get to Survivor Series and it's Randy Orton versus Roman, I'm sure there could be promos talking about family and lineage and all that. But I feel like it's going to be still must see. I think if Roman still brings that same energy, that shit talker, that I love you, I hate that I'm doing this, you're making me look like the bad guy, even though he's not going to be able to do this with Randy Orton, I still feel like it's still must see. This character is a must see character. And we haven't had that in WWE in a long time.
Manny, I'll let you speak on the Sasha versus Bayley. So Sasha once again has won the title. The question is, can she defend the title? And how many times can she defend the title before she loses the title?
I don't know, but I feel like they're going to give her an easy pass with the Bayley match next week. I feel like they're just going to give it to her, even though in Bayley's promo, she pointed out that she signed that under duress and that contract should be null and void. So technically, right. Sasha should not be champion.
And then also Bayley pointed out the fact that Sasha never keeps her title, so it doesn't matter. So you guys did mention the Survivor Series, and I have a question for both of you that I was thinking about. So on Raw and on Smackdown, we had qualifying matches for people to be a part of the Survivor Series team for Raw and for Smackdown. My question for you, do you guys enjoy this format where it's like Raw versus SmackDown, or do you miss the old Survivor Series format where it would actually be teams that had parts of storylines going against each other, rather whatever brand that they were on? So like you would have, I'm going way back, like the $1 Million Man team versus Hulk Hogan's. Like that's the Survivor Series that I miss. I feel like you don't get to tell the same type of story with these qualifying matches. Manny, how do you feel about that?
Well, I do miss the nostalgia of that, where you had like Doink and all the other clowns versus the Hart Foundation or something along those lines.
Or the King Lawler team or whatever.
Yeah, something along those lines. It's hard to remember all those teams, but they were funny to have. But I think you do have to just accept that you will have to just have these brand versus brand matches because you ain't got to get them anywhere else anymore. Even though they claim that Survivor Series is the only time that it's brand supremacy, but they do it all through the year where they fight each other. But
And Marcus, Jeremy Bishop in the chat says that no one cares about Raw versus SmackDown. Do you agree with that, Marcus? Do you think we should have more, like it should be Roman going against other people instead of facing a Raw team?
Well, it is what it is. So I've always been up to the analogy of it should be, if you're going to do brands versus brand, you got to throw NXT and NXT UK in there. Or have it, versus the main roster and do it that way. Maybe it's NXT UK versus SmackDown and NXT versus Raw, or whichever way you want to do it. And I feel like that would mean more than Raw versus SmackDown, because on Raw versus SmackDown, everybody is so interchangeable that a lot of people, they're just showing us, I got brand loyalty, but they literally were just drafted to that show.
Yeah.
No one has been away from a show. This isn't like, an Edge who was always on SmackDown fighting a John Cena team who was always on Raw. And, they always have this integration rule or whatever, the wild card rule. So these guys always are touching. But you know what? I prefer this than the older brands because it does feel kind of like an all-star game.
So
it does seem like it's team versus team and it's title versus title. Like I enjoy the matchups of the Street Profits versus the New Day, Raw Tag Team Champions versus SmackDown, or the Intercontinental Champion versus the U.S. Champion, and you kind of get that mix of it. I do feel it's important that they took NXT out, though.
I do think that the the one-on-one matches for the championships, I do enjoy those matches. Those are fun. But as for the traditional Survivor Series match, on Monday Night Raw, we had AJ Styles, we had Keith Lee, and we had Sheamus qualify. Sheamus defeating Riddle. Keith Lee, I don't remember who he defeated, but it doesn't really matter. And then
Elias.
Oh, okay. Who just got to that, bread? And then
Elias.
AJ Styles
Elias.
defeated Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy and Elias brought their beef into both qualifying matches. So far, of the 3 members of the Raw team, Manny, are you satisfied with who they have to represent them?
I think that's the best they've got. But I need to address 2 things. Matt Riddle has become the latest person to lose his first name. He is now known as Riddle. And the second thing, if you haven't listened to the Elias album, go listen to it. It's actually a banger.
Amen is a really good song. Also, since you're on the Riddle situation, Booker T called a man out, said, ain't nobody ever won a championship without wearing shoes. Because, Booker T is old one. People got mad at him for attacking Sasha, so I guess he felt like he had to attack a white guy.
He had to attack a white man. He had to attack a random white man just to get his street cred back.
So on the Smackdown side, Marcus, Jey Uso qualified after destroying Daniel Bryan because he finally realized that he did love Roman Reigns, and he did.
I understand.
I understand now.
I get it now.
I get it.
I understand. I get it now. I understand.
Because let's go there. Because at the beginning of the show,
I love you.
Marcus, Jay didn't understand what fighting Daniel Bryan made him understand what Roman was trying to do.
Fighting the white man. He's like, the white man trying to keep me down. Daniel Bryan has no reason to want to be on the Survivor Series team. I don't know why he's trying to take food off my table. But I don't know what made him fully understand, other than the fact that he didn't want his family to go broke, or Naomi and Jimmy cussing his ass out, talking about, you ruined it for us. Like, so when this was happening, I was actually shocked. I thought he was going to lose the match because I see no reason why Jay would be on this team. I understand, because Roman has nothing to do with the Survivor Series or brand supremacy, other than fight Randy Orton. This team, I feel like it didn't add anything by adding Jey Uso on this team.
I think what it's doing, in my opinion, is just trying to make the extension of Roman stronger in the situation, because Roman is the face, and at that point, these are his disciples. It's almost kind of like the Monday Night Messiah with Buddy, but except Jay gets to win, unlike Buddy Murphy. But I just didn't understand what made him realize. I actually thought he killed Daniel Bryan when he fell on his head. I was like, oh, that looks like a concussion. Daniel Bryan's about to take some more time off to go play with his kids. Sticking on SmackDown, no surprise, Bianca Belair, she qualified to be the first member of the team, SmackDown team. The fact that Natty, the woefully broken up Billie Kay, and
she deserves better. She deserves better.
She does deserve better. She was the
more entertaining of the 3 in the backstage segment.
Not only was she the more entertaining in the 3, she was more entertaining in her match this week than Peyton Royce was in her qualifying match.
No, wait till we get.
Look at her.
We gonna get there.
Her trying to get those team victories. Her running in and out the ring to avoid any contact. I mean, she really tried. At some points, I thought she was going to get the pin on Bianca.
You knew Bianca was going to win in this situation. You don't let Bianca lose this match. You just can't. I mean, they have the rocket ship strapped to her back, and we know. I actually feel that Sasha. Mark, take your mask off. I actually feel that Sasha's going to keep the title.
Bro, you don't tell me to take my mask off, right?
Marcus, I actually think Sasha's going to keep her title until they decide to give it to Bianca. But
they're not going to go Sasha Bianca.
Why not? But can we go to my favorite?
That's too black. That is some black ass shit.
I shouldn't be more enamored with my favorite qualifying matches all week. And that was on Monday Night Raw. And that was what you guys call me. How can I say Nia Jax? I hate that. But it's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler trying to tell Adam Scrap Daddy and Rob Buck who they want on their team. And then come to find out that Shayna,
it's Pat, right?
It might be Pat Buck. It don't matter. The fact that Shayna and Nia are already on the team, and then Dana and Mandy are on the team, and so it was only,
they already lost.
It was one spot left, and that's when we had the Fatal 4-Way, where we had Peyton Royce, we had Lana, and we had 2 other people who I really can't remember at this time right now. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
Lacey Evans?
Huh?
Lacey Evans.
Forgot about Lacey Evans?
Oh, it was a lot of blondes in the match. Needless to say, Lana won. Manny, were you happy that Lana won because you knew the streak was going to continue?
I didn't really think they were going to give Lana the win. But then when it happened, I was like, I'm all on for this. But I was like, I don't want to go for a table. Let alone did I want to see the disrespect from the two other blondes by not even trying to help her out. They just watched it happen.
Just let it happen.
Dana Brooke is talking dangerously to Nia Jax and can't even remember her name. Shayna Baszler saying they need to be worrying about their titles. I was just like, and then trying to say that they're the captains because they're undefeated. I was like, who are you?
And the question is, who did they beat? Like, are you guys wrestling on WWE Dark or something? Because I don't know who you guys beat to be undefeated.
They are the tag team champions. Oh, you talking about Mandy and them?
Yeah,
I don't know. Hey, maybe they're wrestling on AEW Dark, but there's 700 matches on Monday. I mean, there's so many matches. Maybe Mandy and Dana picked up some wins on there.
As Jeremy says in the chat though, none of this makes any sense. Yeah, in the trap. Because the chat is the trap right now. Trap. None of this makes any sense. Some teams you just get to be on, others you have to qualify for. And I think that is the problem sometimes with WWE. It's like you guys have no consistency of how people are qualifying on these teams, and I would like to have a little bit more of that.
Well, it seems like SmackDown Raw was fight and get on, and SmackDown is going with traditional. You got to fight and get on, and they're gonna have theirs drawn out. And Raw was just like, "This is the women's match. We're gonna put the tag team champions in there and figure out what happens after that."
But I think for me,
Lana needs to be on this team, though.
I mean, for me, if anybody needed to be on that team, it would have been Alexa Bliss. I will point out that I have never liked Alexa Bliss until this point. Right now, she might be one of my favorite characters being paired with The Fiend. And from the Firefly Funhouse to a moment of bliss with Randy and all that, everything was spot on. And this probably, for me, was the highlight of Monday Night Raw. Marcus, what did you feel about Bray, Alexa, Randy's, and everybody's interaction on Monday night?
To me, it's still a bit confusing. Like, where are they going with this storyline? And because it seems like we're in some weird entanglement. Bray, who I believe does not need the belt and should not win the belt, and Alexa are chasing the belt. Drew wants his revenge for the belt, but nobody's fighting Randy at Survivor Series. And so they have this weird entanglement of a storyline that I'm assuming is going to lead to some triple threat, but The Fiend is still indestructible. I don't think he should have the belt. I don't think Alexa and The Fiend should have the belt. But the imagery at the end of Alexa sitting in the corner and The Fiend doing his, flashing on the screen while Drew and Randy are letting the hate fight through them or whatever's going on was really nice. And that was probably like the only thing of Raw that I kind of enjoyed.
Well, so Manny, I'm going to turn to you because I know there was one match where we had the Hurt Business going against Retribution. And then Mia Yim had a spiritual beast attack her. She got into the ring. I'm assuming we need to presume that was The Fiend also playing with Retribution. So it seems like Bray has his hand in a little bit of everything.
No, because she said it's a joke.
Are you okay, Marcus?
Yeah, the spirit's got him too.
My earpiece fell out my ear.
You can't let the spirit get you.
I'm sorry, man. The spirit monster. Did you just assume The Fiend is possessed me and you?
Yeah,
that she wasn't just playing games?
Yeah. I am a person, because I know The Fiend was messing with Retribution the week prior. I just want to keep it going, Marcus. I don't know. Can a brother hope? Can a brother hope?
Did you have a problem that nobody was calling her that they were calling her by her government name? No. You have a problem with that the referee was like, Mia, you okay, Mia? And everybody like, Mia, what's wrong with Mia?
Oh,
it's like, I guess the mystery of who that is isn't a mystery because we all know that's me and you.
Apparently we do.
So they're not even hiding Reckoning. I don't understand how we're getting this far in the feud and Reckoning always has to disappear in the middle of a match.
Like, the thing about it, it's like, if you want to talk about how I brought up traditional Survivor Series matches, the Hurt Business versus Retribution is that traditional Survivor Series match. However, they did that match on Monday Night Raw for whatever reason that they decided to do that match for. And then, of course, Retribution loses again. And then Mustafa decides to cut a promo, which is another stellar promo. But my man, you can't keep cutting promos after you lose. You got to do something more.
You do. You got to do PR. You got to do damage control. That's what Trump's been doing for his whole candidacy.
I'm just saying, like,
and then he comes out and he has to do damage control and talk about how he was just joking or some shit.
Yeah, it's like we weren't serious about this match. And Dio Madden needs to stop wrestling, right, Manny?
Yeah, he's probably the worst big man in the game.
By the way, even worse than AJ's giant man that he hasn't
done anything in the ring, so we can't call him the worst big man.
I just want to point out that is a big mother sucker because, like, he's standing outside the ring and his head is almost about to touch the top of the rope. I'm like, damn, that's kind of crazy.
But back to Dio Madden. I was thinking about instead of Slapjack being Dio Madden, and I was just gonna throw some underwear over my face because that's what it looks like.
No, Mace
do something about that
Dio
shit.
Madden. Slapjack is Shane.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I was gonna be Mace, and just throw some underwear over my face and be him, and just make weird faces because that's all he do good.
That's all he does.
Like, when did he get on that shit?
The thing that disappointed me the most, though, this week is that I thought it was hilarious about how the New Day was talking about the Street Profits and, set up the match. I was like, more black on black crime. And so when I get to Smackdown and you see the Street Profits in the ring with a microphone, I'm thinking about they about to cut a stellar promo on the New Day, and they don't even say anything. They just say, we want the smoke. I mean, they made fun of how sleepy Dawkins is, and they didn't even respond. Manny, were you disappointed at the Street Profits not playing the game of the dozens?
Well, I don't think there's much to copy about the New Day. They're not. You can't really imitate them. But when Woods told Kofi, you can't go full Dawkins, only half. He's too sleepy. Too fun.
Yes.
I think the Street Profits will get them back in a vignette of some kind. Like, it seems like they don't really cut the promo to talking shit unless it's about the Clippers, and fuck you, Dawkins, for doing that every single week for no damn reason. But I feel like a vignette will happen in which they're mocking the New Day. Or somehow we're going to get Dawkins versus Big E.
But I'm a little upset because it's 2 weeks in a row we haven't got Big E on TV, and I'm like, where is Big E at?
I'm assuming he's going to go on the Survivor Series, Dave.
I would
with
hope.
Jay.
I mean, I think it would be more intriguing if he was on a Survivor Series team and maybe if Woods was on the other side and he had to beat up Woods. I mean, like, I think that's what we need to see. We need to see the New Day put hands on each other. How loyal is he to the New Day?
Why do you need to see that?
Why do you need to see some shit like that? You don't need to see the New Day break up.
I do.
Imagine their podcast now with them breaking up.
I need that in my life. Is there anything that I missed on Raw SmackDown that you guys want to talk about?
Oh, plenty.
Go ahead,
plenty.
Mark.
I can't believe you're out of shit. How are you out of stuff already?
Like I said, I felt that these shows just kind of happened, but there wasn't really nothing in that really captivated my attention.
Okay, hell, we gotta pull back. One, you gotta go over the Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio drama as the plot thickens.
You're right, Marcus.
The plot has thickened again.
You know what? I meant
now they put lips on each other on TV. On TV, they doing this.
Eric, that should have been the thumbnail. Aaliyah is the clickbait. That's what you do.
Manny, I had to make
buddy.
I had to make this festive Halloween DNA. Background.
They're swapping DNA on this show in front of his daddy and her brother, and Rey Mysterio's telling her Vamanos. She's not Vamanosing. She's getting closer. She's getting closer. And you got Seth on the ramp who's smiling going, enjoying every bit of this.
Marcus.
And I think they are going to join Seth's group at the end of this, except for Ray and Dominic, And we just back where we started with Murphy and Seth against Ray and Dominic, but this time Aaliyah's in the other corner.
Marcus, I would
And
agree
By
with you.
the way, Aaliyah's mother accepts this relationship.
She understands what's going on, but Marcus, I agree with you. Seth Rollins being on stage, like that was probably one of the most disturbing things I have seen in a long time, because Seth Rollins seemed like that type of guy that would enjoy that type of interaction. Manny, is it time for Rey Mysterio to let his daughter grow up and move and just get out of her life and just move on with his life?
Rey Mysterio doesn't care. Again, bad father.
His music did hit again.
And for 2 weeks in a row now, he's waited for his music to cue before he saved his kids.
Marcus, what else on SmackDown?
What else happened? You know, I'm trying to recall everything. Well, I don't know why I got to be the one to recall. You're the host.
Well, because I admit I dropped the ball on Aaliyah, and that was probably number one story. But after that, nothing else really happened except for the big dog and everybody eating. I mean, I don't talk about that man who shall not be named, and I don't care.
He's a freak.
Oh, wait.
He's a freak, Eric.
If we don't talk about him, I just have to say there is now someone in the company that's worse on the mic than Ember Moon, and it is that guy. And that was a taped segment.
So the thing that really bothered me about this, because I was going around reading reports and stuff like that, there are people who felt that was really good for that person who shall not be named, that was a good way to get that character across. Yet those same analysts badmouth the way that Bianca Belair acted in the backstage segment with Billie Kay and Natty. And I was like, I don't get how you could thought that man had a good point of establishing his character. It felt that way, and I didn't want to call it that.
He was a white man who felt neglected his whole life, and he couldn't get help. Maybe because he was racist. He was racist.
And homophobic.
Wait. What were people saying about Bianca Belair?
They thought that her reaction, her facial reactions was comical. Like, they thought that all the ladies in that segment was just doing extremely too much. And for me, I was like, if you know those characters, that's what those characters do. And
because if they're gonna chat shit about Bianca, you could go down the route of cultural appropriation with Natty going B-O-A-T.
I am the B-O-T. That ain't a thing, Natty. Don't make it a thing. As Bianca said, this ain't a thing. And, you know, whatever. Yeah, I don't care.
It was like, I was like, you know what? I don't think I could go and recaps from that website no more after reading stuff like that. I like to praise that man who should never get any type of praise. I mean, if you want to talk about the hierarchy of people who should rot in hell on allegations, that man who should not be named should be at the top. Should be at the top.
I don't know. Being a racist and a pedophile is different levels of hate right there.
Wait, he's not a pedophile.
No, he's not a pedophile, Marcus. He's a homophobic.
No, he's
you were talking about the other allegations.
Yes.
You said on the list of allegations. I was talking about the other two.
Oh, okay. But we still talk about Theory and Dream, though. We still talk about them. Although Theory quit, and we don't know what happened to him.
That is the apparent reason why they got rid of Matt Riddle's name. Because when you search Matt Riddle, that's all you get, the court cases. So when you type in Riddle, yes, nothing WWE related comes up. However, if you search Riddle WWE, there's all the stuff again.
So what you gotta do is you gotta put an extra R after Riddle so it can be Riddler, and then one of the greatest Batman movies will come up starring George Clooney.
That is the wrong movie!
It is?
The villain was Jim Carrey!
I know.
And that was Val Kilmer!
His mask is too hard.
I said the Batman movie starring George Clooney, Marcus. That's what I said.
He was not in Batman Forever.
He wasn't?
No, that's Val Kilmer. Well, and that's what I'm telling you. You're completely wrong.
I'm okay with being wrong, Marcus, because I don't want to be right. I don't.
You're never right.
I'm not. So, can I move on to Wednesday nights? Because I have a lot that I need to talk about on Wednesday night.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
So,
here we go.
Do we spin the wheel and make the deal? Do we go into AEW or do we go into Halloween Havoc?
I don't know. Which one are you going to rant on the most?
I want to end on a high.
Okay. So, AEW.
As I rip my mask some more so I can drink some water.
My
Let's
first
see. Let's see if
question.
this works. Hold on. Let's see if this works, goddammit.
As we
It
watch
worked.
Marcus drink water. So, my first question for you guys. Last week, I was all over the cheerleaders sweeping for the cleaner for Kenny Omega. This week, he got rid of the cheerleaders. So happy
No, he
about
didn't.
this.
He
I
didn't.
Oh well, I missed them then. Never
I
mind.
don't know how you missed it. They came back. They out there did the same thing.
I'm already off.
You keep making accusations of shit that you ain't paying attention to, and Kenny came out with those girls.
Do
He
you
came
like
out with the hoochies.
my question? Do you like this version of Kenny Omega?
It's still whatever. It's still whatever to me. At least he's serious. I guess he's somewhat serious.
I think it's the version of Kenny Omega we kind of wanted from the get-go. This is like the Americanized version of Kenny Omega from Japan, and it's just singles wrestling, but you've had to give him some type of character to get over.
Is it wrong because I'm watching this match and I want Wardlow to win because I want to have some type of surprise that happen in this match? And it's like, I know you're giving us Adam Page versus Kenny Omega, but I also felt kind of like with the Sasha and Bailey, it might be a little bit too soon. And I thought it would have been exciting seeing Wardlow fight for it. But as people say, that would have been like Atlanta versus Tampa Bay in the World Series. Nobody would have gave a damn about Wardlow making it. But I thought Wardlow looked good in this match. Would you agree, Marcus? Wardlow has improved somewhat.
Wardlow, who I dubbed the worst big man in the game many months ago, he's no longer in there. For now, we're going to give it to D.L. Madden for being the worst big man in the game. But, I thought it was a really good match. I thought Wardlow showed me something again in this one like he did in the previous week. It was pretty, it's obvious, but sometimes obvious is good, man. I know when there's like, oh man, I'm shocked we're getting Hangman Page and Omega. It's not what a shocker, sarcastically. But you know what? Sometimes that's the right move.
But you know what?
Do I really want to see Wardlow in the finals against Kenny Omega or vice versa or whatever the other final could be?
But Marcus,
no, I'm okay with this.
I agree with you to the point. Yes, I am a man that likes surprises, but at the same time, I would say that both matches were very quality because on the other end, you had Adam Page go against Pentagon Zero Mieto or whatever his name is.
Oh God, who's this white woman? She's just staring at a tree, pretending like she's not looking at me in this mask. Yep.
At this point, Manny, I turn to you because Marcus watching at the white woman. I thought Adam Page and Pentagon had a really good match. How did you like that? Did you like that match?
Kenny Omega fought Pentagon.
Did I?
Adam Page.
Yeah, you got this completely mixed up. We were talking about Wardlow and Adam Page. What are your notes? What have you been drinking, Naya?
I'm still trying to recover from last Saturday, man. I still got that drunk feud, man. Needless to say, Adam Page was good against Wardlow. I slid out the chair twice to the ground. That's what the story tells me of what I drank. So I don't know. And then Kenny Omega fought Pentagon. You are correct. That's what closed out AEW. The fact that I can't remember anything because I didn't hate this show that much. I didn't. I mean, I thought the matches was good. I thought the wrestling was solid. It's just that I had other issues that I had with it. Like the fact that the Young Bucks decided to take a page out of another executive vice president and they decided that they are going to, if they don't beat FTR, they will never challenge for the titles again.
So, on reflection from the Untitled Mania Market show on Thursday, I failed to realize this. But if you're going along with this Young Bucks heel turn, you can't put this face kind of stipulation onto your match that you will never challenge for the title ever again.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're doing with the Young Bucks, to be honest, or the whole Elite, in which they all decide the Young Bucks are going to turn heel, kind of. Adam Page is going to be the face. Kenny's going to turn heel. Cody went back and forth between 2 weeks of being heel and face. I'm really confused on the characters of all the EVPs of this company. And I do feel like they are dominating too much of the show. Like, where are the other people? I mean, you had Darby Allin in the crowd, the Cody match. Will Hobbs and Taz had a segment without Will Hobbs. And just all these people are on this show and in this promotion, but they never feature anybody but EVPs or unless you're the NWA Women's Champion.
You know, the thing about it is that I thought the one match or the one storyline that was going on AEW Dynamite that I was intrigued with didn't involve any of the stars. It's something that I guess it originates from AEW Dark. It's the beef between Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky, to the point where Scorpio Sky got a bull costume to get dragged into the ring to fight Shawn Spears, who was going to hit him with the loaded glove. And I'm just like, they need to spend more time on these low-level characters to help build them up, because at that point, the way Shawn Spears got into that match and defeated his opponent in less than 10 seconds, I thought that was very good for character building, but then we go into a storyline that we don't know much about. Manny, did you care about Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky?
Not really, because it started off as a squash match, which led to the Bull appearing, and then that's when it all went down. But then that segment was so small, it was almost like, oh, do you know what? This is probably going to carry on Dark, where we ain't going to see or hear about this for like another 2 to 3 weeks.
Because this was nothing but AEW Dark. This was only on the show because Abaddon died on the last show. Like, this and Serena Deeb and you know, I don't mean that in a joking. I'm sure she has a serious injury. But because of that injury and that they didn't want to show it and that how inexperienced their wrestlers are and everything else, that they only put this segment and Serena Deeb and her match on TV and not on Dark because of that injury. And that's why we got this segment, because it was out of nowhere to me. I have no idea what's going on with Shawn Spears and Scorpio Sky. They gave us no recap whatsoever. Tully had to change his jacket. That's what I got out of this. Tully changed his jacket again.
And speaking of that, yes, AEW had 2 other titles from other companies featured on their show this week. You had the NWA Women's Champion, the new champion Serena Deeb, and then in the Kenny Omega match, he came out to the ring with the AAA title. And
that really upset Pentagon.
It did, because apparently Pentagon lost for that title. And for me, I'm like, I don't need you guys telling better stories for other companies' titles where you really can't give us a good background for your own title on your show. Like, that kind of bothered me. I mean, at the end of the day, Serena Deeb beat up somebody, which was, like you said, AEW Dark match, because we did not need to know.
No, that wasn't a Dark match.
No, but that match belonged on AEW Dark, though.
No, I thought that was probably one of the better matches, because whenever Serena Deeb is on Dynamite, whether she wins or loses, you're getting a good match. But what was the more shocking thing is, yes, the NWA Women's title featured on AEW Dynamite, whilst the AEW Women's Champion Shida featured on AEW Dark, which is even worse.
Marcus, I think
the same woman.
I can hear the echo again, Marcus. I think your volume might went up. I'm not sure.
How come my volume go up? You're just making shit up now.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
My volume can't go up.
Okay. But back to it. Do you guys want the Young Bucks to win or lose so they can never challenge for the tag team titles? Manny, what say you?
I want them to lose.
It's like that.
Because it's stupid the way they booked this. You book this at the end of the feud. You don't book this near the middle. Like, you should have a rubber match and go, oh, we can't beat them, or something along those lines. So if we can't beat them, we'll never challenge for the thing. This is just one match.
I want them to lose, and I think FTR is on the road as tag team champions, and I would not take that away from them. They're my favorite characters probably on AEW. They're brush and gold, and being top guys, and then with Tully, it really works for me. So I do not want them to lose, but however, I do think it's dumb that the Young Bucks wouldn't be able to compete for the tag team titles, as well as Cody's not being able to compete for the world title. I feel like there's going to invent another belt for them.
I just feel like at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we're in creative. We can't think of anything. Let's let the executive VPs put their title shots for all future title shots on the line. Let's do that. So speaking of executive VPs, let's talk about the how I like to call it the very unnecessary lumberjack match, where the premise behind the making of the lumberjack match is because the Dark Order said that they were going to interfere in Cody's matches, so they decided to surround the ring with lumberjacks. Um, Before we talk about the match, some fallout from this happened. Apparently, the Nightmare family got a lot of new members to it that Cody announced online. They have this new young up-and-coming African American kid that I can't think of his name, but I'll give it to you. But then they also got Billy Gunn and Austin Gunn as part as the Nightmare family. I'm not really sure if we need any more members of the Nightmare family, but Marcus, this lumberjack match, the Dark Order didn't do any of the destruction that they said that they were going to do. Did that distract you from watching that match?
John Silver won the match for Cody.
Not necessarily, because afterwards, John Silver got a ring, but then Arn Anderson cheated too.
Yeah, but he almost won. He almost won the match for him. I'm just saying, this is like you said, this lumberjack match was unnecessary. I didn't understand the stipulation. It's not like either one of them are running from each other or trying to avoid this fight. Like, it didn't seem like that was a necessary stipulation. And then the lumberjacks are all dumbasses. Nobody does a lumberjack match right in any company anymore. They get to the ring, you have hillside, face side. You follow the hillside, I stump your ass out. You follow the face side, I stump your ass out if you're the heel. And vice versa, and then a brawl breaks out.
You know why it didn't work? It's because the fucking best friends were involved and they had to get in their fucking hugging spot. That's the only reason this whole thing didn't work, because the moment that ended, that's when like it kind of resumed how a normal lumberjack should be. But it was only until after they got their spot where they hugged fucking Orange Cassidy, and then when Trent fucking punched Cody direct in the face.
I mean, like, that's the thing about it. Like, did they really feel that they had to protect Orange Cassidy? Because I remember Orange Cassidy had actually lost to Cody before cleanly. So did we really need to have all these smokes and mirrors for this match? That's where I think that, like, unfortunately, I think that AEW is going down that road that kind of TNA went down, where they are now overbooking things, where they're doing a little bit too much that you don't need to do because it's not longer necessary or you don't need to apply to.
You know what I think they're doing? And it's not intentionally. I feel like, and this is where it's weird that, you know, WWE does these matches of like, you get Drew McIntyre and Randy for like 3 months or whatever it's going to be. Or you may get Sheamus and Big E going on in their feud. Or even this Otis Miz thing that's dragging around. Or Rollins and Mysterios. Like, these feuds go months. In AEW, a feud lasts a total of 1 month. Maybe. Or 2. And it's over in that time span. And it seems like they're running through their entire roster. And now we're getting reruns of feuds, basically. Like, Cody and Darby Allin, we've gotten like 3 or 4 times on TV already.
I think this might be the 5th time they're going to fight each other.
Or team with each other or something like that. And I feel like they're just recycling the same thing. And the roster isn't as big enough to like give you fresh matchups. And eventually, in a year's time, if they don't sign anybody, they keep poaching people out of nowhere, whether they go down to Thunder Rosa or Ben Carter, they're going to run out of fresh matchups.
Well, I think their roster's big enough for what they have right now. It's just the fact that they're not using what they've got well.
Yeah.
It's like
they just use people for like the week.
Yeah, because there is no need to book like how many ever matches they do on AEW Dark.
Yeah.
And
then you have...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I just think for me in this situation is that you keep going back to this well that you've used before. All right. Cody and Orange Cassidy, they got a good rating. Let's do this match again, but we're going to protect him. All right, let's go back to Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes. And then you wonder, where is Brody Lee in this situation? He never got his rematch. Why is he not claiming what's rightfully his? Like, there's so many other people. Scorpio Sky only got 1 shot at Cody. Why does some of the performers get multiple shots? Where are the rankings for the TNT Championship? Because we don't have rankings for that. And I mean, true, the rankings don't matter. But if you're going to have rankings for a tag belt, the women's belt, and the AEW title, I'm assuming the TNT title should have rankings also. Or is it that Cody, when he's the champion, he gets to select who he fights? Like,
well,
Go ahead, man.
Well, Eric, so it goes more into what they were talking about when they were interviewing Shida backstage. Where it was like, Nyla Rose has been the #1 contender for several months now, and you have not accepted her challenge yet. And then it turns out, Nyla Rose is now waiting for you to say when you're waiting to fight. It's like, no, why are we waiting for this? You're Tony Khan. You're saying the rules, the rankings matter for all this stuff. If someone's been #1 for that many months, just like Shida was #1 for like 3 months before she got a title shot, why are these people having to wait so long when other people below them are getting title matches?
No, and it's like you said, it's not consistent. You have it where Tony Khan is booking some matches, like, oh, he's gonna make this match happen, but then other matches he doesn't book. It makes absolutely no sense that well, first of all, that Sheeta ain't been on TV in God knows how long. I don't know the last time I seen Sheeta on TV. I'm talking about wrestling, Marcus.
Rose, I'm gonna kick your ass. I know. But now, Rose, I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, why are we going back to this well for the 1 millionth time?
And then
we've been there as well. They seem to I brought up on the Tuesday, Thursday Untitled with Manny and Marcus show, whatever show I did bring it up on. Probably the Thursday show makes the most sense. But I said it before then. I saw it coming. Why build up Big Swole if you're not going to have her feud with Sheeta? Or why build up Britt Baker if you're not going to have her feud with Sheeta? Why bring in Serena Deeb or Thunder Rosa for the NWA and fight Sheeta when you have your rankings and Nyla Rose and whoever and Anna Jay and whatever else and an Abaddon out there? It doesn't make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense, and it's frustrating. Sheeta should not. Serena Deeb is the current women's champion of the AEW roster. That's what I feel like. Sheeta is an afterthought that sits in the crowd.
Marcus, I have a question for you because I have a follow-up too. Who's the worst champion? Sheeta or what was that first girl's name who was the first AEW champion?
Oh, Rio?
Rio.
I never want to see Rio again.
So Rio's still the worst. And Marcus, would it be devastating to AEW if the rumors are true, although Billy Corgan disputes the fact that Thunder Rosa is still under contract to NWA, but would it be devastating to AEW if you put Thunder Rosa on your show, she wrestles numerous matches, and then she goes off and signs with the rival? Would that be a blow to AEW?
But they lost Ben Carter in the future. Your boy.
I know they did.
It does seem like the only person they were able to get and keep was Eddie Kingston, who WWE just wanted to hire as a coach. By the way, Ed, you look like Eddie Kingston today. If anybody were to come upstairs into your room while you're doing a YouTube show / podcast, you got to kick them out because you've been trained to do this. He don't like that. I don't like people who ain't trained to be in my workplace. That was my favorite moment of the week.
No,
he just paused and said, I don't like that at all.
Marcus, no, that is not my favorite moment of the week. My favorite moment took place in Halloween Havoc, and we're almost there.
Well, on AEW. I meant on AEW.
Lewis, you got kids.
Lewis, I didn't know you had no sister.
I'm feeling a little bit
So, last week, I praised
AEW. We're not going to talk about Mox and Kingston?
No. Because I need to.
I'm enjoying Kingston and Mox.
Mark, that's
I'm not going to probably enjoy the match.
Marcus.
Oh, you're enjoying Kingston. You're not enjoying anything Mox is doing.
Okay. You're right. He's not even coming to work, man.
You're right. I mean, he hanging around bars telling his story and shit. And talking about how bitter Kingston is. Kingston is the best character on AEW.
He is.
He is much more seen. He's the realest man in wrestling.
Well, last week.
I feel like if I was in wrestling, that would be me just being bitter and talking about how I've been passed over and people are ducking me.
So, last week, I think we will all agree that the winner of last week was Chris Jericho and MJF. What they did last week was amazing. No one expected it. It really set the table. However, this week, I felt that AEW really shitted the pooch or kicked the pooch. I don't know what it's called.
Screwed the pooch.
I mean, I'm not about screwing without
consent.
But this whole segment was just like, I knew it was bad when it started off with Luchasaurus asking a question, and I was just like, why are we still trying to do these fake debate segments and things like that? And then for it to lead up to Eric Bischoff showing up again, and then ultimately it's going to be a match between Jericho versus MJF, and if MJF wins, he's part of the Inner Circle. I just didn't need this. Manny, how disgusted were you with this segment?
I wasn't disgusted. I don't know why you. I don't know how you.
This ruined my day.
Manny, your body language told me you were disgusted. Maybe it's all black.
So when you go from last week where you had.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my God! It's Marcus.
Who saw that coming?
Well, yeah, so when you go from where they were last week to going to copying another presidential debate where you don't really need it, where they even included the spot of Mr. Jericho, will you please shut up?
Yes.
It's not needed. It's not needed. You need to keep politics out of wrestling.
Marcus, what about you? Do you want to see MJF versus Jericho?
Oh, no, I really don't. I'm no intrigued in this. I was more intrigued about when Ortiz grabbed the microphone and him and Sammy were threatening MJF and talking about, you ain't going to make it to the full gear. We going to beat your ass. You ain't joining in the circle. I mean, if you having this much dissension in your group about who's joining or not, just be like, Jericho, y'all can go up together, man. Me, Big Hurt, and Santana, who's 50-50 on the whole idea, we go our own way. And you know what? It's probably beneficial to everybody in the Inner Circle to go their own way.
I would agree. I don't understand.
Shout out to Jackie Swags for winning his Bellator fight.
From what I understand, he barely won that. And people were like, they were like, man, this man is fighting meat cans, and he barely won this fight. He ain't the guy that they thought he was.
He was fighting for his life.
I think that's enough for AEW. Let's talk about.
But yeah, I hated this town hall. It was bullshit. And if they do another stupid segment like this, I'm done. I mean, I'm just gonna turn channel.
Given that the Inner Circle have done it all, is this group done? It feels like they've outlasted their they've gone past their expiry date.
I feel like for me with the Inner Circle, you can have so many more match angles and stuff if you broke them up. If you just had the Inner Circle just be Jericho and Jake Hager. Like, I think that Ortiz and Santana can go on to be really good for their tag division. And I think Sammy Guevara could come on to be a competitor that Cody could possibly face that is new and fresh. Like, I think actually being part of the Inner Circle is holding them back from really achieving what they could achieve in AEW because they need more people to present themselves. It's just, it's not like when you look at the Dark Order and you see John Silver and the other guy, like, I can't make money with those guys. So it's okay if you're flocking with Brody Lee. That's perfectly fine. But when you have Ortiz, Santana, and Guevara, I feel like you could do something with them. Even if it meant that you form some version of LAX again, although Matt Hardy says that Guevara is not Latin. But I think that it's time for them to really figure out what they're going to do with the Inner Circle. Because I think it's like, I'm at the point where Jericho is kind of wearing out his welcome. Like,
well, it's also like when you look at it, pairing all these guys with Jericho, the idea is almost to make them household names essentially, because with Chris Jericho already being the household name. But I don't feel like they have. I feel like because they're always on the end of an L.
Yeah, and then for me, like they announced on AEW, oh, Chris Jericho or Le Champion will join us for commentary, and I'm like, that's when NXT wins automatically for me. Because him on commentary drives me crazy. Just really does.
Isn't Sammy Guevara still feuding with Matt Hardy? Is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that happened like 3 weeks ago or something. It was like he jumped on the trial like, I ain't done with you, Matt. And we're going to settle this once and for all. And I was like, ugh.
I think it's happening at Full Gear. And it's just like, this whole card is starting to be just becoming a clusterfuck of like, I'm not going to enjoy this, I don't think.
Well, I'm not going to pay for it either.
I think Omega and Page will be good.
Okay. What else you got?
Maybe Darby and Cody.
But we've seen Darby and Cody a million times, but they can't do anything different in that match.
Darby Allin can throw himself off a ramp with some thumbtacks for Steve-O again.
Yeah, I don't think we need that. But what we did
What do you think about Team Taz coming out with that random segment talking about we're gonna get Will Hobbs?
Marcus, I don't know why he's obsessed
We're
with
gonna
Will
get
Hobbs.
our black man.
I'm not being funny. Team Taz with Will Hobbs could be interesting to watch.
It could be, but the fact that is that I don't know what Will Hobbs wants. To be totally honest, no one knows. Spin the wheel or make the deal. NXT Halloween Havoc. I called it last week. I said that I knew NXT would win the ratings war this week because I felt.
I don't remember you saying this at all.
You go back to the tape.
I don't recall you saying that.
Go back to the tape.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm not going back to the tape.
You know what? I'm about to cuss. Fuck you both. I don't care if you remember or not.
We're not. We don't. You know you didn't say it.
I did say it.
You didn't say it. You can't even remember what you watched on TV. How do you know what you said last week?
I know what I said because I said it.
All right. If you can tell me who fought Walter this week, and I say you said it.
Dragnovic.
There it is. There it is.
First, WWE spared no expense. They went all out for Halloween Havoc.
They bought a balloon. Really
that Johnny Gargano cut when he came out. Like, vandalism to his best. And the fact that that was the first match that started it off, and let's give a shout out to Shotzi, friend of the show, who doesn't know she's a friend of the show, but she is a friend of the show. She did her damn thing hosting the event. She had wardrobe changes and all, and she spun that damn wheel.
Spun that shit. Spin that shit, Shotzi.
Spin that shit. I thought this was a very good opening match between Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano, and I actually was shocked that Gargano got the win. Marcus, were you shocked that Gargano got this win?
Yeah, I was 50-50 on it. I thought it could go either way. But I was like, do they really want to have Priest with this long reign? But then they kind of seem to be wanting to go with Gargano and Candice both winning these titles. So when he got it, I was like, I think Candice may get it at this current time. But, I want Priest to have a long reign, but maybe he's going to go to the main roster and be a surprise appearance in the Survivor Series.
He's going to the upper room. I think that's the only thing that you can say. He's moving on to greener pastures. I mean, he's too much of a big fish. At his age, he ain't got time to be playing around with the little kids. Manny, Marcus said Gargano winning made him worry about the main event between Io and Candice LeRae. Did you have the same feelings that maybe something bad was about to happen?
The moment he won, I did have that initial feeling that Candice might win. But I love the fact that he was been complaining about wheels for weeks now, and then the wheel aided him in the defeating of Damian Priest.
So
this wheel wants to kill him.
So the question is, who was the individual in the Scream mask that helped him defeat Damian Priest, hitting him with the lead pipe that led to Gargano bouncing off the wheel and then hitting him with a tombstone? I mean, Taylor, it took a lot for Johnny to beat Damian Priest, but he used it all, and I enjoyed that finish. Who is behind that mask? Marcus, who you got?
Going to? Okay. I'm going with Austin Theory for $500. Like, if we were playing Jeopardy, I would write $500 and say Austin Theory.
Manny, who do you got?
I think it's Austin Theory, and then I know Indy Hartwell wasn't cleared to be in the arena, but they're going to play it because that person was masked. That person in the women's match was supposed to be Indy Hartwell.
I wanted it to be Indy Hartwell so much just because.
I do too.
I want the decision. I want the decision between Candice and Johnny because I just Indy looked like somebody that'll break up a happy home. She do.
It would be great if it is Indy Hartwell going, yeah, man, I got Johnny that title. But her obsession is with Candice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not Johnny.
But also, I think it could be a possibility that I think it could be Ridge Holland too. Johnny could be the man that was.
Ridge is dead.
Ridge's neck is broken.
Oh, shit.
Why are you Ridge Holland?
I did not know that.
What show are you watching?
I don't think where he got hurt, that was the week I didn't watch wrestling. So me,
even in the Pat McAfee promo where he specifically said Ridge Holland, I watched Ridge Holland's leg fracture into 700 pieces which was, and he turned to Oni Lorcan and said, "An expensive mistake."
Okay.
He said, "I got the guy. I paid the guys that injured the guy that was taking out the other guys."
Damn, that was actually some good storytelling. That's a goddamn shame right there.
I don't know what you were looking at.
So, Manny, Manny, I know that you're a big fan of Pat McAfee. He's back on television.
Before you say it, I'm gonna say it. Pete, done. Before you come up with that dune.
No, Manny. I actually, on my notes, I put Pete Dunne on there. D-O-N-E. I know it's not spelled right, but I had it on my notes to say that Pete Dunne returned because, damn it, I was tired of you guys making fun of me because I could not figure out what his right name was. But Pete Dunne returned at the expense of the Undisputed Era, and I will say, Manny, I think you are correct. Pat McAfee gave credibility to Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, and putting Pete Dunne with them even elevated it to the next level. I think it's a tragedy that Holland is hurt, but at the same time, I am not upset with the replacement.
I don't think the Brit and Brawlers 1 and 2 were going to be part of this group if Holland didn't get injured, because those two seem so out of place. Because like when me and Marcus talk about pantomime of Hogan, watch the pantomime of Burch. It looks terrible. When McAfee's cutting this promo, you watch his face and his actions. Terrible. He's making this promo worse.
Just him being there. Just him being this 75-year-old man just back to hanging around this young man. I mean, he just looks like an older man that shouldn't be involved in some shit like this. Like he should be home raising his kids or something. Poorly raising his kids. Poorly raising his kids.
I'm actually happy for them because they had that segment where they went to the pub and nothing ever came of it. Who knew it was gonna lead them to becoming champions? Damn it! I'm all about the good for 1 and 2.
Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch are the which version of the Revival or FTR. That's who you get. Like you couldn't afford the real brand, so that's who you got. So that's who they are to me, even though they were with Pat McAfee, who was just shooting fire on the microphone. And Kyle O'Reilly comes off as the biggest idiot in the history of idiots, of NXT, though. Does anybody agree with me on that? Eric, how do you feel?
I felt that, yes, he does, unless the bigger swerve is that he's part of Pat McAfee's group, too. And they try to get...
It's too late!
They tried to destroy from the inside. Because I think originally that might have been the plan before Holland got hurt. Because if you think about it, Pete Dunne, Holland, and O'Reilly with McAfee, that's a pretty good stable right there. You know, and WWE, at least Triple H, is going down this road of more stables. And Marcus, I hate to tell you this, Marcus. I know you made the comparisons of FTR and Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. I will say this, and I know I'm about to be chastised a lot. I prefer FTR's in-ring ability, but I prefer the look of Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan to FTR. That's just me.
And you're a host of a wrestling podcast.
Yes. Yes.
That's a shame.
That's a damn shame.
You taking 2 jobbers? I mean...
Hey, at least
Danny you know what? I can see what you're saying. They look a little chubby.
They look like they work out, man. I don't know what his last time Dax Harwood or Dax Shepard or whatever his name, Cash Wheeler, they've been to the gym. I don't know where they've been. Just saying. The big girls, big gals. Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez. I proclaim Raquel Gonzalez my new big girl. She lost. Rhea Ripley looks strong. I was hurt, but I'm still supporting Raquel Gonzalez. We go bounce back. It's one day at a time, rung by rung. We're going to get back into where we need to go. I thought they did a very good job of having a match with each other. I really enjoyed this match. Marcus, did you feel that Raquel Gonzalez has improved in the ring, or do you think Rhea Ripley carried her?
I thought it was a combination of both. It was the same thing. Raquel was Raquel, man. I mean, they delivered. This is the only heavyweight battle of the show.
It was.
Like they were the 2 biggest people on the card tonight, and they simply destroyed each other.
Oh, and it was fun. Is big.
Yeah, but he fought a little man. He fought a little man.
He fought a very little man. He was fighting down in weight. He was fighting down in weight.
He went
He had to
down
go
in weight.
down to fight Gargano.
You say that like he had to make weight to fight Gargano.
He did. He did. Gargano didn't gain weight, obviously. So he had to fight down. These are two heavyweights going at it, and it was a clash. This is me watching some old school WWF when you see just two big people hitting each other, and that's what we got. That's what it was, and it was enjoyable the entire time. Probably the best pure wrestling match on the show.
It had no,
and maybe the only pure wrestling match on the show.
It had no gimmicks. It had no frills. It had no when to spin. It was just a straight up match.
I thought both women looked good.
They did.
Both women looked good.
I thought they both came out of it. Manny, did you want Raquel Gonzalez to win, or you're okay with Ripley winning?
I need Ripley to have some direction, so I'm glad Ripley got the win. But I need Ripley to have some direction because it's just been like ever since she lost the title, she's just been drifting in the wind, going nowhere.
I mean, she's someone probably who could use McAfee help because, like, when she could have signed with Rob Stone, I think it would have helped her some because, like, she really has no direction. It's like she's there, she's changing her outfit each match, like, to, like, 1 minute she's good, 1 minute she's evil. We don't know what she is right now.
I don't think she's ever been evil.
Dude, just pair her up with Bivens. I ain't seen him in months.
That's true.
Well, that dude ruined Bivens' career. The other in the Shearer, that one guy ruined Bivens' chance of making it. A legit tag team can't make it on TV because that dude had to spoil Keith Lee's finish.
I don't know why he had to do it. What made him think that was a good idea? What made him think that was a good idea?
On what planet? Like he was like, "Oh, this is live, huh? Oh, this ain't live." But Ripley's misdirection had to happen so Io can have her reign. That's the only way it can happen.
And Marcus, as you said, I was worried about Io's reign tonight when she was going against Candice LeRae. And I will point out, this was probably my favorite match of the night. It deserved to close out the show. I will applaud both women in their performance. I am so happy that Io won and the prophecy was not completed. Manny, I turn to you. Io, Candice LeRae, what did you feel about this match?
This match was great. Like, yeah, they had the scares bit in it, which I thought was a bit stupid, but but the match on its own was great. Candice does what Candice does and dies repeatedly in any segment she's in, and it always looks good. I generally was concerned with at the end, the finish when she landed knee first into that ladder, but she seems all right. I haven't heard anything on the injury report about Candice LeRae, so
I like that our commissioner gets the injury report emailed to him like, yeah, her name is not on the injury report. Marcus, take it away. You've been a big supporter of Io since day one. I know you were worried about this match, Marcus, but did Candice deliver enough to you to make you a believer of Candice?
No. I still don't want Candice to do anything. Candice needs to stay away from that title. That's all I'm saying. Stay away, because it had me worried. It had me shook. Io came out with Poppy in that grand entrance, and I was like, I'm hyped. Io's gonna lose tonight. You can't have her lose. Like, I'm angry watching this entrance. And I'm like, Io can't lose this way. Like, I felt like they were playing it up as Io was losing, but when Io came out on top, I was like, thank God. It was a really solid match, really fun match. It was back and forth. It had that real drama to it. When the Ghostface man came out, / maybe woman or person, or persons, it had me. So I was like, no, not this way. I was really upset. Well, but the match had me invested.
I'll tell you what, though, I'd rather see Candice LeRae as NXT champion than I would Ember Moon. And I
knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
The best slip up, even though Eric is the king of slip ups, when Beth Phoenix called her Ember Poon.
Wow.
And that is how I will refer to her ever, forever shall be.
Man, and people are gonna hate you, man. Taking shots at Ember Poon. I mean, people gonna hate you, man.
So, her and Dakota Kai are having their thing.
If Booker T's taking shots at Sasha Banks, who is completely in the wrong for taking shots at Sasha Banks, the person he should be taking shots at is his own product of Ember Moon, because she is terrible.
But Booker T has a right to say that he ain't never liked Mercedes' attitude, that she rubs him the wrong way.
She never tried to rub him in any way. How you like that, Booker?
Booker T just doesn't like black people he hasn't had a part of their part of their come up.
That could be also true in that situation. But for me, NXT Halloween Havoc would not be complete without my boy Cameron Grimes taking it to the moon. I mean, the way that this was presented was that it was another WWE cinematic style match, but not truly a cinematic style. I love the fact that William Regal is so biased that he gave Dexter Lumis the address way before Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes showed up to work.
It was Lumis's house. According to Cameron Grimes, it was Lumis's house.
I don't think that Lumis lived that close, but it don't matter. The fact that
what are you talking about? William Regal got him a valet service to get him there.
He had to escort him out to it. And literally,
I mean, the setup to this match. Oh, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
The setup of him walking to the house. Wow, Dexter, you got a nice house. Just the ad libs that Cameron Grimes gave into each scene was it was priceless, man. And then
no, Eric, hey, take it from the top. There's a car waiting for you in the parking lot. Oh no, Mr. Regal. I don't want to go in the parking lot. That's more scary than the Bermuda Triangle.
He also said, you know what, Mr. Regal, I'll just take a loss. I'll just lose. I don't need that.
Take the loss. I'll take the loss. Take the hit to my paycheck, Mr. Regal. Yeah. I don't want to go to the Mr. Regal, can you walk me to the parking lot? I feel better if you went to the parking lot with me. The whole back, every scene, it was just so ridiculous that made me laugh. Like when the van pulls up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm getting this van, not this van." Oh no! And then he sees the driver. I'm just gonna sit in the front because I ain't messing with that. Ow! And then they open it up, and he's like, "I hate rednecks. I hate rednecks." And Backstreet USA is playing, and Michael Hayes is talking to him.
The only one gripe I have with NXT with the Halloween Havoc is didn't get the Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae cameo with Michael Hayes as Doc Hendricks.
You didn't. But so he arrives to the house. And he's walking and Loomis is in the trees and stuff like that. And then in every supervillain movie, Cameron Grimes, he started thinking with his other hand and he got rapey. Or as I like to say, he got grimy. He said,
I'm feeling grimy.
I feel a little grimy.
He said, Dexter, I didn't know you had no sister. And I feel grimy. And he started taking his clothes off. And literally,
in the film is life.
Waistcoat.
He was literally on the field running for it, scanning for his life. Next thing you know, he got instant freak mode. It was that's how I imagine Nate Dogg in the song Regulators guy. When he was like, let my butt kind of explode. And then he was like, I got back into freak mode. That's what Cameron Grimes was feeling when he was getting into that shower. I don't know why he thought that was going to be okay.
But he was going to get in the shower, his pants still low though. That's the worst part about it. Dexter
Loomis, those pants are coming off.
No, Dexter Loomis don't like him. So what makes him think that Dexter Loomis' sister likes him too, good enough to get in there? And then we have to give WWE credit. They paid whoever they paid for makeup artists to get us some really good zombies that were contortionists and stuff like that. Because I swear, when he pulled back the curtain, and I felt like I was watching The Ring again. And I was like, Sarah Ann was probably one of the most scared characters in any movie, although part 2 don't exist. But when they started chasing him and he started fighting.
3 or 4 or whatever. They made 1 million of them.
I don't know. And then Loomis pulled his ass through the window. It's so much that happened in this. My biggest gripe about Halloween Havoc is that it had commercials. That's my biggest gripe about it. And
so this one had to be continued.
Yeah.
I like that. Because at one point he's running for his life to back to the CWC. But my favorite part will always be the tricycle coming past. It's like, Loomis, you got kids? My favorite bit.
It's like he went to Loomis's house, and the next thing you know, he decided he found more about a person who he could be friends with. Oh, you got kids, Loomis? Oh, you got sisters?
Yeah, he cared about his kids. He cared about his sister. And, the fact that it had to end in the ring for some weird reason with the zombie apocalypse attacking Cameron Grimes, who may be dead at this point.
No.
We do not know how that actually ended.
I like the fact that, as Manny said, the To Be Continued ended with Cameron Grimes running into the street. Somehow he was able to find his way back to the NXT arena. But instead of finding a very safe haven, he walks into the makeshift graveyard and then smoking stuff, start billowing. And then somehow the white van picked up Loomis, his sister, his kids, and the tricycle, and they made it back to the ring where Dexter beat up Cameron Grimes. And like as I told Manny in the text, Cameron Grimes might be the only wrestler on WWE's roster right now that can pull off what he pulled off with Dexter Loomis. And I loved every moment of it.
Here's the real question. All right, guys. This year has been a weird year of a gazillion cinematic matches. Did this become number one?
No. It's an honorable mention, man. It's just Marcus. The reason why we enjoyed this so much.
I got more enjoyable out of this than the Boneyard match, I think.
Yeah, but the Boneyard match wasn't meant to be funny.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, but it made me laugh.
But Marcus, the thing is, your hatred for Cameron Grimes is more funny because you can't stand Cameron Grimes, but he keep doing stuff to make you say, "Damn it, why did I make this decision to say I can't stand Cameron Grimes?"
I can't stand him. He's doing a good job at being a heel, but this time he went full grimy. He went full Grimes in this one, and it was amazing. It was just like they unleashed it. Like he even got offense in on Loomis. Like he got shit in.
Oh, but the thing was, he said the line, like Manny says, his line is like, "You got kids, Loomis? I do feel grimy." It's like, dude.
The one thing that's remains true is that the parking lot at NXT is more dangerous than the Bermuda Triangle. That is 100% fact. You don't know who you would end up feuding with it. Whether it's Ciampa, you don't know if Sheeta's not Sheeta. What's his name? Casino's having a bad day. Velveteen can be in the parking lot. Cameron Grimes can be slashing your tires. Bronson Reed can run up on you. You never know who you're going to run up into in that parking lot. And it's the most terrifying thing in the history of places to be.
You know, I will say, I did enjoy hearing Ciampa cut his promo pretty much saying, "I'm tired of all these punk bitches." And, you know, like people claiming that, "Hey, I want a title," they get a title shot. I was like, okay, I guess that's what Ciampa was.
I feel like Ciampa was on the wrong show.
Yeah, he should have been on AEW.
No, I mean, he just had a serious ass show. Like this show just had Cameron Grimes fighting in some haunted house. You have Gargano throwing tombstones at Damian Priest when people with scream masks and Shotzi jumping up there. This dude came in full serious. I'm so sick of everybody joking around and shit. I quit. Like it seemed like he was about to quit in the middle of this. Like y'all bullshit. I quit.
Oh, you know what? Let me give a shout out to the Santo Escobar, who looked like he was Thunder Rosa, and also Rey Mysterio. Like that was his costume that he decided to go with.
No. Fuck the WWE for all of this. All of it. This is my most disappointing moment of the night. Yes, I enjoyed the Cameron Grimes stuff, but I believe the way Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma was dressed and everything that was around this and the potential of what this match could have been, very disappointed. He was dressed in Rey Mysterio. I'm the Phantom outfit. He had the Day of the Dead face paint. They could have debuted Thunder Rosa in their group. They could have did everything. Nothing happened in this. I didn't need to say it. This is the most disappointing thing on the show. Absolutely terrible.
You're right.
I hated it.
Thunder Rosa.
It was just like, but this was like a 3-minute match for no reason.
Yeah.
But Thunder Rosa,
like, I'd rather not have this. Thunder Rosa would.
And that group would be like, that's legit right there.
On a Day of the Dead episode, if they would have signed Thunder Rosa and Thor into that group on this day, that would have been the most memorable debut in a group in a long time.
I have a feeling I know who's going to be paired with them. Actually,
who?
Do you know how a few weeks ago there was rumors circulating that Melina had re-signed with WWE?
Yeah.
I have a feeling Melina's going to be paired with them.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be upset with that.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's because
Her and Thunder Rosa. Oh, go ahead.
it's so he can bring all his representation when we do have HillCon. That's all I need. I need to make sure Escobar is represented when he's speaking to the big dog. You know, this is Escobar with the NXT delegation, big dog. We're here to pay tribute to you.
I only got one question in the Hill-Con that needs to be asked. I think, Roman being the head of the table of the Hills, he has to ask the Hurt Business. So what side are y'all on this? Because I really y'all beat up Titus like that. I don't know why. That was unnecessary, but it was hellish.
No. I'm still here for justice for Titus. That was unnecessary.
Betty, I think you have so many causes that you got justice for Titus. You got a cause for everything right now.
Hashtag Billy Kay deserves better.
Billy Kay deserves better, and I've just introduced justice for Titus.
JFT, y'all. We need to get buttons. Justice for Titus didn't need that, man. But Titus was at the World Series too. He was at the World Series.
Suffered enough.
He was at the World Series?
Yeah, he was at the World Series.
Everywhere but his damn job.
Because, he's a huge Tampa Bay native, so he was there. He felt the wrath. So, we do have an email. We have an email from Chris. Are you guys ready so we can close the show out on a high note?
Apparently this email is Marcus-centric. It said on Thursday.
The subject line says the finale of Marcus. I don't know what that means, but we'll read this. Everyone
okay,
good?
Here we go.
Everyone good? ? Manny, I'll ask again. Sup with no props showing for the past couple of months. Sup with you. So Manny,
the fuck would you call this?
but Manny, but this is a prop on a special holiday. I will point out that you did debut those 2 pillows in the back, but you never really put them on camera. You never.
They're
put
not a prop. That's not a prop. That's set. That's set design.
That's my life. That's my life. That's not a prop.
Then he says, Eric, once you return from your leave of absence, I'm hereby hiring you as my ethic consultant. I don't know if that's a good thing to do, man. I don't know. Oh, as Marcos guzzles waters for the public to watch. Hello, Marcus.
Thirsty, man. What do you want me to do?
Hello, Marcus.
Sit in this hot-ass car.
Hi. How have you been? Well, Mr. Finale said I don't talk about wrestling, so in this email, let's attempt to change that. Wow, Marcus, did you call Chris out about not talking about wrestling?
I don't remember what I say, but yeah.
He says, although y'all came up with ABW, but I digress. Clarksville Elementary School, a 5th grade Chris who was leaner, had more hair, and was just a couple of years into wrestling fandom. Now then, gym class, it was a Friday. At the end of said class, Mr. Gromley informed us that all of next week that we would be doing wrestling. Say what? Oh, I was so excited. I could hardly wait to go back to school. A sentence I would ultimately never utter again. Anyway, I went home that Friday afternoon and immediately took out my wrestling action figures, not dolls, and began to strategize on what I'll do to my unfortunate opponent. Maybe I picked them up for a power slam, like Davey Boy Smith. Perhaps I'll run them into the ropes, and as they come shooting back, whack them with a Ricky Steamboat-ish chop near the throat. Oh man, why couldn't it be Monday yet? Wait, what would I wear? I don't own any wrestling attire. Went to my closet. I guess these burgundy and gold sweats will have to do.
Did he make a suit? He made a suit.
That's the closest I could get to the Hulkster. Hold on. What song will be played as I go to the ring? I don't remember the school ever playing anything other than those ring bells. Oh, when we all had to sing that stupid pledge thing. Hell. Well, it's finally here. Monday, the start of gym class. Mr. Grumley, where's the ring? What's these mats doing on the ground? I never see this on my WWF television set on Saturday mornings and afternoons. Little naive Chris had no clue what there was another wrestling besides what he held inside the sports circle. What is this BS? Yeah. No ring, no ropes, no crowd besides my classmates. I watched the first match. Why are they both kneeling and why Chad letting Omar grab him? This isn't right. No Irish rips, no chops, no DDTs, or pile drivers to end the match. This is some BS. That wasn't a 3 count. It was only how how is it over so fast? Why are they getting up and standing on either side of the teacher? He raises Omar's hand. They shake. Everything about this is wrong. Utterly and completely wrong. I've been victimized. I was the third match. Can't remember the kid's name, but he lost. He lost in a convincing fashion by Little Chris, who was filled with anger. All that prep work was for naught. But hell, I won. Cheers, I suppose, but not so fast. Wednesday, I had my second match. This time, I knew what I was getting into. Wore the same Hoganish sweats. However, this time the fix was in. Maybe I was too let down. Maybe some teacher had the fix in. Here's what happened. My second match was near the end of class. Not much time left. So why are we going? We still have to change back into our regular clothes for the next class. Oh no, we can squeeze one more match in. Well, Mr. Gormley, how did you miss my reversal? How did you miss me almost do a belly to back suplex on this bitch? I tell you how it happened, Marcus, because this cunt of a teacher spent the time looking at the clock on the wall. I looked at him and wondered, what the hell are you doing? I should beat up at least 2 points on this kid. But no, I lost by a point. I lost. I lost like some enhancement talent. I was led astray, hoodwinked, bamboozled. So no, the first screwing wasn't Brett, it was Chris, thus ending my amateur career at 1-1. So as I painfully relive this moment in my life, here's a big, you can go fuck yourself, Mr. Gormley. And if you're dead, well, I hope you died a slow, painful death. Piranhas, piranhas, are you left nothing with your spine, you dream killer. And until next time. You know what? Chris is upset about this, but Marcus, I think both you and I would have been elated if we would have had some form of a wrestling class, even if it was the mat-based wrestling when we were in high school.
I would be in shape today if it was we had a mat wrestling class or whatever. We got nothing.
Manny, you don't
We
understand.
barely had a basketball team and a racist golf team in high school.
Manny,
racist golf team.
Yeah, it was a racist golf team, man. You had to be Mexican to get on the golf team, man. Let's not talk about that. It's a sore subject.
Could not get on.
So
Manny,
wait, you had Mexican, not rich and white?
No, because we went to a predominantly Mexican school. And Mr. Saavedra was a racist.
And you knew he was.
You knew he was. But we're not going to talk about it. Oh, I can know where you're going. Where you going? Oh, okay. But Marcus, you know, Manny, if we had a wrestling thing in school, Marcus and I could have been the black versions of the Steiner brothers. We could have been.
So you don't want to be Harlem Heat?
No, because we're brothers,
I'm in Harlem Heat.
You would
They're
want to be
also
Harlem.
brothers.
They were also brothers.
I know they were, but Marcus wants to grow up to be Booker T to go up and talk about other black wrestlers.
Goddamn right.
And Marcus, what was the inception spin of your phone for no good reason?
None of your business.
Okay.
None of your business. I flipped my phone, all right?
Manny, did your high school have a wrestling team?
No, we just did athletics, where I suffered numerous things of shame that I do not want to relive.
Manny, I'm sorry. You brought up you have to bring up one thing of shame. What was your thing of shame?
So, I'm very much a sneakerhead. Yes. I had these highlighter yellow kind of Adidas shoes.
Okay.
So when the sun hit them, they would glow almost. My friend's watching me from a science building do hurdles. He watches me clip a hurdle with my back, so if you're going over the hurdle, this is your front leg, the back leg that's swinging over it after the jump. He watched me clip that, flip over, and then land flat on my back, just like, and he will never, and like every 6 months he'll remind me of it. I'm just like, I don't need to remember this.
Wow. Hurdles. I never get over a hurdle. Marcus, do you have any tragic high school memories?
Million of them. No, not really. No. Just,
I do have a wrestling related of us wrestling on grass at lunchtime, where I got my first concussion.
Your first concussion? They say it's not like your first concussion.
This kid gave me a spinning heel kick to the back of my head. I went down. I went down. They said I was out for. I thought I was out for like 10 seconds. They said I was down for like 2 minutes.
You do look like a woman wrestler. Let me have that.
Oh my god.
Yes, everybody, you guys gotta see. Shantae became a women wrestler for her. That.
Oh, Lacey Evans.
I guess she was like Black Lacey Evans for work.
Lacey Evans.
Marcus said Lacey Evans. On that note, I think it's time for us to end the show. We hope you guys enjoyed this little sedity that we call the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. That's Shantae back there.
Like that.
Huh?
How you just gonna? That's my wife over there, like just like that.
That's all right.
that's
I was gonna point.
No one can see her face. They see the top part. That's my wife right there. You know, and I'm a bandwagon.
Hold on. That's my wife right there. That's my wife back
Marcus,
there too.
Marcus, don't let that white woman into your car. She been looking at you with that paper plate mask, man. Don't let her in your car, man.
No, she thought she was slick. She thought she was slick. She thought she knew what she was doing. Like, she has no reason to walk over to where I'm at to go look at this random brush of grass. She literally looked in here. Yeah, she looked in here and then continued to proceed to walk up to the brush of grass, put her hands on her hips, like she was saying in the grass, "You want these fake nods?" And then walk back. And I go, "The fuck is she doing? I know what she's doing, lady. Yeah, I was wearing a paper plate. I'll wear it again.
Anyway, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny. Hey, and I'm
And I'll Marcus the grand finale.
And
no, I think this paper plate man gave me a rash in my face because it's really itchy.
And until next week, as Manny put the chuck the deuces, everyone stay sharp. We'll see you guys next week.
He taking the shit.